The Gold Coast Marathon, presented by ASICS, is more than a marathon, so lace up those runners and get ready to Ready, Set, Go. This year, the kids are giving the grown-ups a run for their money in the 2 kilometre and 4 kilometre junior dash. Is it time to tackle your first event? You can dip your toe in the Gold Coast Airport 5 kilometre. There's a 1 hour, 20-minute cut-off time, so you can take your time. Share your love of running with the family at the Gold Coast Marathon, presented by ASICS, and enter now at goldcoastmarathon.com.au.
Coming up on today's podcast, we chat about random celebrity encounters.
Well, there's set to be changes in the way we fly in Australia, and I've got the latest info.
And I've been thinking a lot about how good is it to have non-compatible traits with your partner.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Yeah, I had an amazing weekend. I went down to Grafton, or just near Grafton, a little town outside of Grafton, on the river there, and had a reunion with my rowing crew from grade 12, and we all stayed at our coach's house, who was a teacher at our school.
Does it seem like ages are closer now? Like when I run into teachers now,
Yeah.
they used to be really old when I was at school, but now they're kind of similar-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bizarre in the sense that we worked that out, that Isla Lee, who was our rowing coach, who's a great athlete, by the way, Suze, went to the Montreal Olympics and the Moscow Olympics. He won 14 national titles as a rower.
As a single skull.
In all different different areas. But yeah, incredible athlete in his own right. But he was our coach, our rowing coach back in the day. And he was always to us, a teacher's like the old person. He was always
Father figure.
As old as what he is now. He's actually 75 now. He doesn't look. He's still fit as all hell. But he was 40. He was a young man. He was younger than what we are now when he was coaching us, which was a bit of a spin out. Yeah.
Thanks, Luttsy.
He even had you covered. Maybe not you, Buzz. But it was just a great night. It was just a great night. So I hadn't seen a lot of those guys for, some of them I hadn't seen for 35 years.
So it was at his house, but there was a boat involved.
He lives on the river.
Right.
And so we went to his house, then we hopped on his boat and drove Saturday afternoon an hour and a half up the river to a small pub, spent the Saturday afternoon at the pub, then came back to his house and then spent the whole night at his house. No wives, partners, anything like that. It was just the rowing crew.
Fantastic.
And then, it was. And we made that rule too. And everybody was agreeing
Everyone
about
abided by
it,
it.
saying this would have been a totally different experience.
You didn't have one that broke rank?
No,
it happens.
No, it didn't.
That
No.
brings down the whole house of cards.
I think any reunion you don't want someone who wasn't there, like even sporting, like Olympic, like proper sporting reunions, like you don't want your partners there.
Yeah.
No, I was going to ask, did you have was there official speeches or official?
No.
It was all casual?
Nothing like that. It was just all very casual. Oh, there was actually.
Would be good storytelling in that, though.
Oh, it was so much fun. They made me, because I was like the captain of boats, so he pulled out the. And this was late in the night at this stage. He pulled out the old school record book or whatever from the year, which I hadn't seen that. I haven't seen that since I was at school either. And I'd completely forgotten I'd written a yearly report, like a summation of
the annual.
The annual report.
Yeah.
Could you read that? Did you read that out?
He made me read it.
Yeah.
And I actually was nervous because I was like, first of all, I don't remember writing it. It was 35 years ago. And
who'd you mention? Who didn't you mention?
Yeah, and what did I say? And it was great, actually, because, not giving myself a rap, it was excellent, actually. It gave a thorough summation of the year. And then it finished. At some point I said, I want to thank Isla Lee, and it was a really heartfelt thank you.
Your mum must have written this, I reckon.
And saying
beyond your capabilities.
You have given us, I'm confident in saying that you have given us a memory that will stay with us for the rest of our lives. And I went, wow, here we are 35 years later and we're still talking about it.
Cool.
So It was pretty cool.
You didn't go into like, I guarantee you that every face. It wasn't that sort of level, was it?
Okay. But my tip for you, like even as Sue says, it's not a prop. It was a highlight for our school life.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
If you weren't an elite athlete, I mean that's
Yes.
I'm not. Yeah, you weren't head of the river. It was
but
pretty
it's not-
good, but you lived for seeing your name in those annuals if you were a mediocre athlete.
Yeah, and it's not about that. It was about the mateship that sport creates. Like at any level, the mateship is still just as real and still just as lasting. And so my tip would be, if you do have that and you want to get a reunion going, it took us 6 months to organise. And my tip would be just set a date 6 months from now and send it out, because that's what we did. Because if you say we want to get together in the next month, everyone's always
No
got
one can
something.
do it.
6 months out, this is what we did. Just sent the date out and said, this is the date. Everybody work around it. We only had one person who didn't turn up for whatever reason, but it was, and then that date comes along and it was well worth it. It was like a genuine highlight. So I'd encourage you to sort of, get into it.
Nice.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
If you've travelled overseas in the last couple of years, you'll know what's about to happen, and we believe it's today. Brisbane is the first one to roll this out. I think Perth does it next week, I'm told. But we believe Brisbane today, or if you're heading to Origin tomorrow, when you board, you're given a number on your boarding pass, which signifies a lot of things. What class you're in, say your business class, maybe your frequent flyer status. You'll get numbered 1 to 6, and that's your boarding group. And then it's supposed to save time and efficiency and everything at the airport. So you're flying Qantas, they'll say people in boarding group 1 now board the flight. And those people will usually be business class or platinum frequent flyers or
Children.
They
always tend
maybe,
to put
or wheelchairs, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And then if you go up there and you're category 3, in theory, it won't accept your thing and you have to go back and walk back. So and that'll go group number 2 is now ready for boarding, group number 3 is now ready for boarding, and in theory that's supposed to speed up the process.
So will you not have the big line at the gate like you normally have?
Well, you sort of see it, like I've been overseas and seen that. They kind of still line up, but you've just got to kind of work out, okay, these guys aren't category 1ers, so I just walk around them and go up to the gate. Because they still kind of, like category 3 people might still line up in their category, I guess, but hoping that they somehow get into the line. But you've just got to kind of go, well, there can't be this many category 1ers and then you walk around and just go up with category 1.
How do they determine who's in category, who's in category 1, who's in category 2?
Well, it'd be business class probably.
Maybe window seats after?
Platinum and gold frequent flyers. It might be some sort of certain positions on the plane.
Because if you think about it, when you board a plane, if you're on a window seat and someone's already sitting, say, in the middle or on the aisle, they've got to then get out of the seat.
Yeah.
You've got to then put your... So maybe it goes like window seats.
Well, that's what I was
category
wondering.
2.
Is it done so that it that it does
I think
speed up the process?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. But I think it's more if you've paid a bit more money. Like if you pay extra for an exit row seat or whatever, sometimes you do that. I'd say that'd bump you up as well.
It used to be self-seated, didn't it? It used to say business class board now, rows 13 and 1 to 13 board now, 13 to 26.
Yeah.
But everyone always lines up because everyone takes too much luggage.
Yes.
So everyone's always dying to get in to get the spots.
Yes, up on the roof.
You think?
Yeah. So
It's good that it's self-seated because I never take much luggage and I get
no,
annoyed.
I never do much either. Particularly when you're overseas, some people think, how on earth? They've got 2 bags and they look like they're both too big for the plane.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you got to try and get on. If you're one of the last to board the plane, you
never get a spot.
all of the overhead luggage.
Yeah.
And then the really annoying one is the one where you might be seated in row 20, but the only gap for you to put your bag up is in row
38.
27.
Behind you.
Then you make that mad dash. When it lands, you've got to get on your feet and get back down there to get it.
And because I'm tall, I'm always the guy, because I always jump out of the seat first, like when the plane stops, like when you're waiting to get off.
Yeah.
And I'm like grabbing stuff out of the cabins and passing it over, like
you're the helper.
like Mick Dundee on Crocodile Dundee, like passing them all through over the top.
So apparently that starts, we're pretty sure it starts today. For Brisbane people, obviously Brisbane Airport, in the first in the country.
In domestic.
Domestic, yeah.
We'll check it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, that might have a little bit of a clue to do what we're doing next for our big giveaway. Mm-hmm. We are padding here because we've got someone on the line who has some information re this topic.
Yeah, Julian, Pacific Pine. Oh, you've done. So is this the way they do it in the UK? Is it?
No. It's from over here. I travel over to the UK quite a bit, that's all. But I know when I've done it the last few times, last few years, they tend to board people in sections. I think it's relating to whereabouts you are on the plane, just so it's easier for people to get on. So if they boarded everybody at the front of the plane, when you board at the front, it's going to be harder for the people to get through to the back while you're trying to get your stuff up in the cases up above and stuff like that. So they tend to board people at the back of the plane first.
Yeah.
And then work their way forward. That's all it is. I've never travelled business class, so I wouldn't know about it.
One day, John.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
If anybody got 5 from 5 for their NRL footy tipping
Come
this weekend, then you are a genius.
No, I'd go the other way. I'd say you're deluded.
Was there some upsets?
Oh, yeah.
I got 1
I
out
got
of
none.
5.
I got none.
I got 0 as well, apparently.
What about Mitch?
I got 1. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 dudes in my comp got 4s and went shooting up the ladder. Like, how?
How did they get 4?
So they didn't even pick Penrith. You know? Who was the shortest prize favourite? One of them was Penrith?
No, the Roosters.
Last night.
The Roosters were paying like
$1.06
or something
think-
against.
How could you not pick them?
If you got on the Cowboys before James Tedesco was ruled out, you would have got him at like 640 to win that game last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
640?
Yes, it was
Can we stop
ridiculous.
talking about this, please?
Oh, yeah, you're Roosters.
Give me a break.
well.
And Tedesco's going to play?
Yeah, he's in.
That's big, isn't
In the
it?
21 jersey.
Can you imagine how frosty that would be when he gets into the camp and meets and Michael Maguire is like, great to have you here, mate.
Yeah,
Is it?
we always wanted you. Wow. Isn't that incredible, though?
Yeah.
You know what, just quickly, I know we're hurried, but it's interesting, I thought that, because you know what, Tedesco must have still competitiveness to want to play Origin, because you know what sometimes happens, if he's not getting picked for the first time ever, I reckon they give that player a window to go, I'm done with Origin.
Yeah, I'm stepping down. I'm retiring.
And that, if it did happen, he said no.
Yeah.
But I don't reckon it did happen. I reckon he's like, no, he's like, and you watch the way he's playing club footy, he's still a competitive beast. Like, he still plays with energy and an intensity at club level that not many other fullbacks match.
And I think he's going into this game, there's no pressure on him because he wasn't chosen anyway. No. So if he goes out and plays as badly as he did last year, then Dylan Edwards just comes back in for game 2.
But what if he goes out there and plays the game of his life?
Keeps his spot.
He's 4th in betting for man of the match, 4th line of betting. So that, you know.
It's weird.
It's an interesting element to this game.
I mean, a fascinating element.
But isn't it weird? It's usually we're talking about the Maroons camp. There's always something like troublesome going on in their camp. And they've had a pretty, apart from the bad oysters or whatever that Harry Grant got day 1.
What? He got sick?
He had like gastro apparently for the first.
Yeah.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
He's got flowing long hair, so hot it isn't fair. Carrigan.
The Queenslanders are at Sanctuary Cove, we're told,
nice
and
spot.
flying down today. Is that where you are? Paddy Carrigan joining us now from Camp Maroon. How are you, mate?
Well, morning, guys. How are you? Yeah, we're at Sanctuary Cove with our little base for the week, so it's been good flying down to Sydney later today.
Hey, Paddy, can I talk to you about what Reece Walsh said about you the other day? Not specifically Origin.
Was it nice?
It was so nice.
No, I hate you.
It was so nice. He said that he wants to stay a Bronco for life and that you play such an integral part in his daughter's life, and he got a bit teary. You didn't see that?
Oh, I seen him get a bit teary, but we traded a few words here and there, definitely over the last couple of hours that can change things, but no, I did see that. That was pretty
what do you mean?
It was pretty nice.
You had a fight?
Did you have a fight?
No, we didn't have a fight. No, but we
off each other.
I was going to say we have a very fluid relationship, but I don't know how that sounds either. we were very honest with each other.
There's ebbs and flows.
Yeah, it's a big brother, little brother thing. Just say that much.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, good. You had to pull him into line.
He's the big brother.
Yeah.
Pat's the
No,
big brother.
I'm probably the little brother or something. I
So what's
did
happening?
see that.
What's happening down there, mate? Is everything good?
Everything's good. We start every day 7 a.m. with a sauna and a swim, and mate, it's pretty good to be honest. So yeah, we just finishing that this morning. go train, and then we're off to Brizzy. So it all gets business pretty early when we land in Sydney.
Oh, yeah, because you fly to Sydney today. So you're back to Brisbane to fly out, and then, you stay out somewhere in the boondocks out there near Homebush then, and in hard camp, and then captain's run, then game. It's all upon us now, isn't it?
Real quick. We always bit of a tradition, but they stay in Parramatta, actually.
Yeah,
so we stay out in Para and then head to the game from there.
So are all of the preparations done? Like, there's been so much talk about how we're going to use Selwyn and what's going to happen, like all of your moves and all of that type of thing. Is all of that done and dusted now, and it's just a matter of sort of, executing it on the night, or are you still working that stuff out?
No, we're pretty sorted, to be honest, mate. I think, Bill's pretty detailed, so we're all over our jobs, and today's our last big, intense session. Some teams in the NRL have today off and train yesterday, and some teams train today and do a lighter captain's run. So that's what we tend to do with Bill. So we just literally do a walkthrough at the stadium tomorrow night, and then it's game day. So today's our last pretty intense session. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I can't wait to see Cobbo take a kick-off carry, and then he can know what it feels like to be a bit of forward.
Out of the road, Lindsay. I got this, Lindsay.
If you somehow catch the ball, will you pass to him?
Mate,
that'll be hilarious.
Trust me, if he's telling me to go back from lock and say, no, Cobbo, this is what you signed up for, buddy.
Yep, this is it.
We're going to be there at the captain's run.
You'll
actually,
be the captain's
Paddy.
run.
Are you?
Yeah, looking forward to it. We went to the one last year at Adelaide, and it's so good to see you guys. I know you're just doing the walkthrough and stuff, but to get a real taste of what it's like to be in the team, and you kind of feel the team spirit around it. Is that how it feels for you? It's like the last little goosebump moment before you play the big game?
Yeah, it's pretty... I think sometimes you fall into the routine of it when you're at Clubland, but having only 3 games in Origin and you know the importance of it, it's pretty... interesting to see how intense people go as of that moment you get in the stadium, and then you realise 24 hours and it's all on.
And I don't expect you to wear my face during Origin with the speed days, but I will say I did get a text from Katoni Staggs last weekend with a picture of my face on your togs on the floor next to his foot. Just talk through the status of where those togs are right now.
Oh, I'm wearing them, getting out of the sauna, mate. What do you reckon? I'm wearing them 24/7.
Send photos.
Oh, yeah.
Send photos. Katoni actually keeps feeding him. I told you have to get him a pair, mate.
I love that.
Yeah, he wants to wear them. He's sicko. I think he does. Anyway. Well, okay. Well, we'll see you in Sydney tomorrow at the Captain's Run. We've got a couple of listeners coming down as well for the Captain's Run, which is amazing. I guess, I've heard other people say weather-wise, it's no point in sort of speculating. Have you got a plan B for pouring down rain on a horrible Sydney night?
Not really, to be honest. I hope it. I don't know what the weather forecast is doing. Did you feel me in last year or what?
Buzzy, you were saying?
Yeah, 18 degrees. So I reckon around game time it would be at probably 10 degrees and 20 mils of rain expected on Wednesday night.
Right. The one thing you can guarantee, Sydney's freezing this time of year, especially at kickoff. So
yeah, Homebush, such a beautiful part of the world. I hate it out there. Anyway, game on, mate.
Yeah, go get him, mate. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
Cheers.
There he is, Paddy Carrigan.
Yeah, good.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Beat the blues with a cheeky winter weekender. From cosy hinterland cabins to sun-soaked resorts. Book it all and more on the What If app. What if it's Aussie for travel? Take me away! Nova's Trip a Day. Win your perfect holiday.
Oh yeah, from 10K day, mate, to Nova's Trip a Day every single day. For the next few weeks, we're giving away a trip. Could be down to Melbourne, could be up north, or it could be a family getaway to the Gold Coast, which is what we've got up for you today.
I saw Maddie here at this place on the weekend.
Yeah, so did I on her Instagram.
QT on the Gold Coast.
That's a beautiful spot.
I've got so many great memories, but even with us guys, we've had plenty of great things at the
buffet.
QT Gold Coast.
At the buffet.
We had parties down there at the bar downstairs.
It's got a great pool down to the QT. It's a beautiful pool.
It's got a great atmosphere, the QT. Like, you walk in there and it feels like you're...
somewhere else.
Yeah.
overseas.
I feel like I'm in Honolulu.
Yeah.
To be fair, when I walk in there, I just
weekend.
like this place is just. They really embrace that sort of surfy sort of culture.
It's got those good photos. You know the really good photos?
Yeah.
Aaron Slim's retro
yes, I love
beach
those. Yes.
pool photos.
Yeah, I love that, Aaron.
And all the staff wear really cool, like they're sort of cool. The Gold Coast looks great at the moment too. Like that's one good thing about the winter. You get the awesome sunsets at the moment down on the coast. The water's crystal clear.
Obviously, we're keeping an eye on Sydney weather because we're heading down for the State of Origin, and it makes you really appreciate how good living in Queensland actually is. I mean, they're getting tops of like 16 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's 21 degrees today, and we think that's cold. So a family adventure weekend on the Gold Coast. This is all thanks to What If. Every single day we'll be giving this away. You've got to be listening out for a feature artist, and today's feature artist is Pink. So any time today with us or with Maddie Rowe, when you hear Pink, 13 24 10, you get in the draw for that, and tomorrow morning on our show we'll give away this Gold Coast trip and then announce the next one.
Which song?
Any song, any Pink. It could happen at any time, so make sure you keep listening to Nova all day. You can beat the blues with a cheeky winter weekender from cozy hinterland cabins to sun-soaked resorts like the QT. Book it all and more on the What If app. What If it's Aussie for travel.
I see we've got Paddy Carrigan on the show today.
That's a good get inside Maroon's camp.
How good's that?
Nice.
Yep. Only a couple of days out from State of Origin.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I'm smarter than Sue.
Brighton Homes are now offering up to $35,000 cash back on their homes. You don't need to be smarter than Suze to live brighter and save more with Brighton.
Kelly,
Yes.
how's this? Like, I went away for a weekend with my school friends.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard that.
What did you do for your weekend?
Well, we stayed in a house at Byron at Wadigo's Beach.
You went away with your school friends?
Did you go away with your school
my
friends?
God.
Sorry?
Oh, my God. You went away with your school friends?
Yes, I did go away with
Same
my
as what he
school
did.
friends.
Oh, my God.
I know, it seems crazy. It's like so long ago.
Yeah. But it's just not as long as it is.
Oh, so
Oh, yeah, I would say it is.
see? Older and wiser, hey, Kelly?
Oh, absolutely,
You know it.
absolutely.
You
We're
know
not
it.
we probably are as silly now, but anyway.
How's Byron? I haven't been there in Byron
It was,
a little while. It's a good joint.
It was so lovely. Just
Did you do
drank,
relax Byron
repeat.
or dueling pianos Byron?
Oh, no, relax, Byron.
Okay, all right.
Did you hit the pub?
We did go to the pub once, but, you know, it's safer to stay indoors at our age once we've been drinking for a bit, I think.
And cheaper. That pub's expensive.
Oh, yeah. What a place, though, Buzz.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's such a good place.
We only paid for $100, but the Kickback Cave is stacked, Kelly.
Yeah.
There's some great stuff there. Tenerife Festival
Okay,
tickets
perfect.
in there. And just quickly, just teasing, at 9 o'clock when we play, we'll have this great 12-month binge subscription. So you'll miss out on that one, but there's plenty in there for you
That's
anyway.
okay.
Yep.
That's okay.
All right, let's go then. Let's take care of
All right.
business. 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. French for chewed paper is what popular arts and craft medium?
Don't know.
Which Australian band has won the most arias?
Powderfinger.
In which sport might you wear a baggy green?
Cricket.
What is the term for a baby whale?
Cub.
Spell citizen.
CITIZEN.
Stop the clock.
Okay.
Good.
It's measured.
How long?
2 seconds, Kelly.
Oh, jeez.
That's
Okay.
not bad.
All good.
A little bit more than a Lutz dog. See how we go. Let's bring in the Queen.
We love no.
Thank you, Carmel. Yeah, thank you, Carmel, for that one.
Susie O'Neill! Hold the phone, Freddie! Susie O'Neill! It will be a miracle! You won't see anything like that again this year!
Don't you think Carmel and Gary should get together and meet?
Well, Carmel's got such a beautiful voice.
Yeah, Gary's
Yeah.
fun too.
That'd be unique.
Gary's fun.
Yeah. Gary.
Yeah.
Tell that to his
Carmel seems lovely. I think we keep her away from Garrett. Are you ready?
Yeah.
30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. French for chewed paper is what popular arts...
Paper mache.
Which Australian band has won the most arias?
In excess.
In which sport might you wear a baggy green?
Cricket.
What is the term for a baby whale?
Calf.
Spell citizen.
CITIZEN.
Stop the clock.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
What?
Oh.
KK. Kelly Kalanga. How are you?
What do they call
I'm
it?
very good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, actually. Not bad for a Monday.
What do they call it? It's K&K.
What's that, sorry?
Mouthful of food. But what do they call it when KK? You know, it's like a...
PK?
No, like in grammatical
You know.
Alliteration? Is it?
alliteration.
What is it?
Like Ronald Reagan. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
What's that called? Is it
It
that?
might be alliteration.
I don't know. That popped into my head, but I don't know if it could be completely wrong.
Okay.
We're going to move on.
I think so.
French for chewed paper is what popular arts and craft medium? Callie, I don't know. Sue's paper mache. Paper mache is correct.
Yes!
Chewed
Who
paper.
used to do this when you were little with
Yeah, remember
balloons?
that?
Get a balloon and
do
cover it.
a mountain range or something.
Yeah,
we did
so
that.
much fun. Let's do that again.
Make it a swaz. A paper mache
something we're
swaz.
not involved in.
Yeah.
We've got a good idea for Swaz.
Okay, which Australian band has won the most arias? Interesting. Kelly, remember what you said, Kelly?
Powderfinger.
Sue's In Excess, both good guesses, but it's Silverchair.
Oh, Silverchair. I saw
Really?
Savage Garden too.
It's 1-0 Sue's. In what sport might you wear a baggy green? You both said cricket. That is correct, Amundo, and it's 2-1 to Sue's. The term for a baby whale, you said a cub, Kelly.
Yeah.
Sue said a calf. Calf is correct.
Knew it was a C.
3-1, Sue's can't be beat. You both spelt citizen correctly. CITIZEN. 4-2 victory to Sue's. It's all
Well
right.
done, Sue.
Yeah, good job, KK. KK.
Loves it.
Kelly from Carrigan and the kickback day.
I've got a double pass to the Tenerife Festival. It's this Saturday. It's going to be amazing. Kelly, if you can make the journey from Kalanga, not too
That's
far.
all right.
You got-
Sounds like amazing.
yeah, Cat Empire, Fundamentals, Josh Pike, plus the kids can meet Bluey. Tickets are still on sale. You want to get in quick, folks. It's going to be amazing this weekend, this Saturday. TenerifeFestival.org. They'll be there with bells on. It's going to be a cracker. And I'll also give you a $100 voucher for Maggie May at
yeah, that's
Gasworks.
good.
You'll love it there. It's great. One of my favourite spots. So enjoy. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
What a weekend it was. I was going to say the weather was perfect, but I think Saturday it was a bit sleepy weather.
Yeah.
But I went to all four corners of Brisbane and had the best time at like all different places.
It was on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Brisbane was on.
Like James Street lunch on Friday. That's a beautiful street. I know it's busy and pretentious, but
It's nice, though.
it's
I feel like you're in LA.
Yeah,
yeah. You feel like you're overseas, I
you
reckon.
do. It's like Rodeo Drive or something
Yeah.
like that you see in the movies.
Yeah, it's good. Then I went to West End, which is the West Village. Have you guys been there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love the West
It's-
Village.
Yeah.
It is excellent. You know what? If you want a good park, go to West
I'm listening.
Village.
That's true,
A
actually.
good car park. You
A good
mean.
car park.
Yeah. not a nice park.
Oh,
a
right,
good
sorry.
car park.
Oh, car park.
Yeah, no, sorry. I've
I'm
got
into
kids,
car-
so every time you say park.
I'm into car park. But then you go upstairs and there's a nice, like, it's still greenery and restaurants and things. Then what else did I do?
Harris Farm.
Harris Farm.
Farm.
Yes.
You get the milk like in the.
Then I went
Yes.
to another bar on Saturday at Yeronga Pilly. That near the tennis centre's all been built up now with supermarket and cafes and sushi places.
That's good. Needed that.
And a bar there as well, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I finished off.
North side.
South Side, Nathan, the potential Olympic stadium. I finished off at Nissan Arena for the netball.
Oh,
which
the
Firebirds.
They won.
They won.
Yes.
They were
saw
bottom of the
that.
table.
Yeah, good on
Playing
them.
Adelaide, who were nearly at the top. They played great. I haven't been to the netball since it was at. Oh, it used to be Chandler.
Jeez, it's been a hot minute since
Used
it
to
was
be
anywhere
Chandler.
else.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's good atmosphere, the Firebirds out there.
It's
What
really
is the
good.
State Netball Centre? That's you
Yeah.
know, so
They are fit, those girls, aren't
Yeah.
they? Or you can
That's
see how their
next
knees.
level.
You can see how their knees like blow
so
out. though.
quick.
It's so quick, and they stop.
They got great hands, don't they? Like
It's fast.
Good athletes.
Yeah, that was my weekend anyway. But I was looking around and seeing what else.
It was jam packed. I was
Everyone else was
like,
up to?
I went Gambaro's ball Friday into races Saturday, into the
Festa Italiana.
Festa Italiana at Howard Smith Wharves.
that's another nice spot, isn't it?
yesterday, which was just huge. You just and off the back of a lot of the marathoners were still floating around with their medals on and stuff, but you could just see people wanted to be part of things like that, and it was great. Buzz, you went down there as well.
I went down there last weekend.
Casual, but it was like
Beautiful.
great food.
I had this moment where I was like in line to get food at Festa Italiana, and I just was kind of looking around me, and there's like a little moped scooter, and then you're looking over the Story Bridge and the water, and I was like, how good is this city?
Music, they're playing nice Italian
honestly,
music.
So good.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I was out of town. I was down at. I went down to Grafton for that school reunion thing.
Oh yeah, how was that? Catching up with your old school friends?
Oh, it was bizarre. It was unreal.
Yeah.
It was like 35 years. Oh, and then so
Where'd you sleep?
I ended up sleeping in my car. I took my swag. I wasn't going to sleep on the boat. He had a boat, and I was like, no. I took a look around. I went, all of you guys are snorers. I can tell. I'm a snorer now too, Jody.
Snoring would be the last of the dramas. I reckon there would have been all sorts of noise animating from that.
Orifices.
So I was going to put a swag out, but it was pouring rain, so I slept in the car. That was the only downside. I didn't get much sleep. I didn't get much sleep. And then I went to yesterday.
You don't drink. So,
Yeah.
Like, I roughed it a few weeks ago, but I was like 7/8 cut at the time.
Yeah, you could
I could sleep in the back of a car.
Yeah.
But if you're sober, it's a different story.
I know, you do it tougher. But then I was, how's this feeling? Oh, then I went, I drove from wherever he was, Grafton. I had to drive from Grafton to Beenleigh to watch Archie's game of footy yesterday morning. So I was at the Bill Norris Oval at Beenleigh, and I've literally just come straight from Grafton after having slept in my car to the footy oval, and I walk up, and one of the other dads goes, geez, you look like you've had a big night. I said, yeah, I slept in my car. I told him the story, and I said, I was at a school reunion and in my mind, this guy's like my equal. Like both our kids are in this footy team, right? And he goes, I said, yeah, I was at a school reunion from 1989. He goes, 1989. I was born in 1989. Are you serious? Stop it.
What?
Yeah.
I love that you're still wearing your hat as well. It's like when you go to a festival and you keep the wristband on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you've still got the hat you guys had a hat they made for the special reunion.
Yeah, it's cool.
Pretty cool.
It
And you
was a lot of fun.
you had to explain the whole story because imagine it's like, yeah, had a rough night, slept in the car. Everyone's like, ooh, trouble in paradise.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I was parking at a shopping centre on the weekend, and Cliff wasn't in the car with me, so I could park exactly how I like to park. Because Cliff and I have different theories on how we park in
What do
shopping
you mean?
centres. Well, I always go as far away as I can and just walk the extra distance. I go as far as away and I try and get next to a car so my car doesn't get dented necessarily when people open their doors. And I don't mind walking the extra 100 metres, 200 metres. I would walk an extra 400 metres because I already exercise a lot, so it's not a big deal to me. But Cliff, we have to go like, I don't know what type you are. We have to go like really, really close and just keep going to the closest park. I'm like, what's the point? Just park further away.
I'd go, off the top of my head, I'd go probably third. I'd go a couple more alleyways down and then try and get the closest. I'd try and get smart. That's what I do.
So my theory
Depends
is
where you are.
I park the easiest place to get out. So like I'll think ahead and I'll be like the easiest exit for me, I'll park there.
Yeah.
So rather than having to muck around trying to get out of a car park, I'll think closest to the exit.
Oh, I like that theory.
Like if we go to the airport tomorrow, I'll be parking at the airport when we go to the airport.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I'll just go straight to the top. I don't muck around.
Yeah, so
I
you
don't even look at
Yeah,
the.
no,
I
the
go,
lower
they're
ones.
there for other people.
Level 3, level 4.
They're for the lucky people.
Yeah.
You know,
You go straight to
I
level
just go
6.
straight to the top.
Yeah.
And also when you do the
And work
grocery,
my way down.
when you do the groceries, like I always park in exactly the same spot almost. It's like remember the classroom when you're in a classroom you could sit in any chair and you always sat in exactly the same chair.
Yeah.
Do you find that with supermarkets? You always park in the same spot, Eric,
Yeah.
when you do your groceries?
Yeah.
We have our habits.
I have my own spot.
But actually, it got me thinking that how you choose. Do you think that you choose skills in your partner? Not skills. That's not the right word. Traits in your partner that are the opposite to you, so that you get a genetic person that's got the best of the both, or maybe the worst of the both, but hopefully the best of the both. Like I went through all the things then that Cliff and I are different because we're very, very different. So I like the faraway park. He does the close park. I'm always on time. He's always late. I like quiet. He likes noise. And I was actually, this is actually a compliment to Cliff, and I don't usually compliment him.
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Tune in, Cliff.
Tune in if you're listening to this.
We listen to the
Cliff.
podcast.
I'm good at computers and he's not. And so I've been editing his...
Is that the compliment?
That's
There you go, mate. Now it's going to be a long time till you get another one. So enjoy that. You're good at computers and he's not.
That's not the thing.
Oh, right.
The sentence hadn't finished. So I've been editing his PowerPoint presentation. He's giving a speech on tomorrow night. He's really nervous, actually. He's giving a speech tomorrow night to, I think, 300 optometrists. He's an like an eye doctor, to 3 other eye people, basically. So we've been editing this PowerPoint presentation for weekend on weekend days, hours. It's crazy. But he is showing a lot of videos of his operations.
Yeah, you showed me some the other
They
day.
are
It's
not-
almost too much for me to look at, to be honest with you.
The detail that he's into, because I'm not into detail. I'm into like broad brushstrokes of whatever. But I mean,
You wouldn't be a very good eye doctor.
that's all.
Yeah, seriously.
When I was looking at it on the weekend, and he goes, he actually doesn't usually show me things, but last night he's like, have a look at this operation. This is blah blah. And I was like, Cliff, that is like a 3 millimeter space that you're working in there. And he goes, yeah. And I go, and like he's putting little things into holes of the eyes and then peeling off. It looks like he's peeling off tissue paper.
Yeah.
It is mental.
Has he got stable hands?
He's got the stablest hands.
How's his handwriting? Is it neat or messy?
It's not too bad. But I thought,
I'll tell you what he does that similar trait I just picked up on.
Yes.
Well, he's sounding like when he's showing you this stuff, he's using you as an audience.
Oh.
And you do that. Like you'll do that.
Oh, okay, right.
We had this conversation last week about things I've noticed about you over the years. But Susie will test people out the same way. Like she'll ask me questions she already knows the answer to see what I think of something that she's getting up to, whatever. You know what I mean?
Like what? What's an example?
Well, an example is the first time I probably ever met Suze properly, like, for reals, was when I said, "Hey, Suze, how are you?" at the Noosa Surf Club, and she turned around and said, "I think I need a life coach." And then we established only last week that by that stage she already had a life coach. So she was needing some sort of validation from me
to see what it would be like if, what would Luttsy think if I had a life coach?
And Suze has done that a lot over the years.
Yeah, right.
I'm still working her out. I actually say to people a lot. I said I still don't fully understand her, which is pretty cool.
That's good. Either does Cliff.
But Cliff's doing that to you.
Yeah, checking it out. But then I thought, well, the main part that I came out with it after watching that, I'm thinking, oh, you are so OCD. You're a bit of a pain to live with. That's the negative part because he's so OCD and tidy and detailed. Yeah. But now I see where the benefit is, because if you weren't like that, you've found a profession that actually matches all your set of skills.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine going to see your eye doctor and he's a slob and he's a shaky McStevens. He's going, what am I going to do?
Oh, geez, I had a big night last night. A little shaky today. Open your eyes. Let's have a crack here. Was it your left or your right?
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I don't know if you've ever been out and about, you've ever met someone who's really famous, but you don't know it. To you, they're just an ordinary person.
I'm trying to think.
Like, has that ever happened? And then they go, you know who that was? You were just talking to the bloody blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys are just an absolute superstar.
Back when I was a kid, before social media, I was a massive radio fan. Like, I wanted to get, I was doing community radio. And I went to a running club at the Run In at Everton Park, and would end up running with this bloke for months. We ran together on a Wednesday night running group. And then months in, realised it was Ian Skibbon from the B105 Breakfast Show, who was one of my heroes, radio heroes at that stage.
Really?
Like one day I went, what? You're Ian Skibbon?
He was a big deal.
He was a big deal.
Yeah.
And it was months of literally him and me becoming jogging mates.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got a good story. I've got a good story. I was at...
Are you the famous person or was someone else?
No, someone else. I was at an International Olympic Committee meeting, an IOC meeting over in, I think it was in Moscow, and I was in the gym that morning doing some whatever weights, and an old guy was on the treadmill behind me, and he asked me, how do you get this treadmill to work? He seemed old to me. He must have been 75. So I was showing him the technical thing, how to do it. I went to the IOC meeting. It's a hierarchical sitting, and in IOC meetings. So I was one of the last members on the IOC. So I was right at the back. And behind you are the honour members or honorary or patrons.
Yeah.
I turn around behind me. I see the old guy behind me. It's Henry Kissinger.
Oh, my God.
No joke.
Henry Kissinger.
Famous.
What did he do?
Famous political lobbyist, sort of. I don't know.
Big time, though.
Big time with
Like
world wars,
wartime?
world wars, and
Yeah,
that
he
sort
was-
of thing. Like
oh my God, he's
massive,
a historic figure.
historic.
He's bigger than Ian Skippin.
Arguably.
Why? What have you had one?
No, it happened over the weekend. You know how you'll see on TikTok or Insta now people just going around asking people random questions? And then they put together a collage.
Yeah. What do you do for a living?
How'd you make your money? How'd you get your car? This type of thing.
Yeah.
So this girl just rocks up to this guy walking down the street in Sydney and says, well, we'll play it in a sec, but what she didn't realise, and then she's just posted the clip, and then people instantly have gone, you know who that was, don't you? And it was Baz Luhrmann.
Oh, nice.
Like perhaps one of our biggest... Our most famous figures in terms of directors in the country. Like,
And no one else looks like Baz Luhrmann.
I say he's pretty
Actually,
recognisable.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
recognisable.
He's
Yeah.
so recognisable. What was he wearing?
he was wearing like this lime. It's such a Baz Luhrmann outfit too. It was like this lime green leather jacket with this funky little cap, and his mustache was looking very Errol Flynn, and
Yeah.
like he looked like Baz Luhrmann.
Baz Luhrmann.
And anyway, here's what the lady did with him.
So are you single?
No,
Okay. Dating? Relationship?
I'm married.
Oh, you're married. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
During that journey of marriage, the person I'm married to and I found our own really genuine and authentic concept of what our contract to each other should be. But I think more importantly, marriage is not so much about what exists between you and another person. It's about advertising to the people that you love who care as to what the dealio is.
That's it. I hear you. What's the worst date you've ever been on?
I mean, I didn't have to date. What I do is not a job, it's a life. And every relationship I ever had just grew organically out of that.
Organically. Be open to it. Be open what comes your way. Been a pleasure?
Awesome.
Been a pleasure? Till then. Till then. Till then. I'll be on my
I
way.
usually don't do interviews, but you know what?
Thank you very
Happy to be
much.
part of yours.
I'm honoured. I'm honoured. I love your jacket.
Thank you.
Till then. What she said? It was a sign off. Till then. Till
think it's just like,
till
see
when?
ya.
I don't know.
See
It's
ya.
just like
Till next
Till next time.
catch you later
Wow,
type
that's
of thing.
funny.
And he goes, I normally don't do interviews.
Let's open it up to the phones. 13 24 10. Have you met someone famous and you didn't know? I used to train at F45 with David Christofoli. So beat that.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
All right, shall we rip through a few of these? This poor old lady at Sydney who rocked up on Baz Luhrmann. Got a good interview out of him, I have to say.
He was very
He opened
generous.
up, didn't
He
he?
was very generous, I thought, about relationships.
But she had no idea that she was talking to Australian cinema royalty. So who have you met who you didn't know was famous? Maddie.
I met Darren Lockyer.
So what happened there?
I was in the city at a work Christmas party and I asked for directions, and it wasn't until he started speaking that I realised it was Darren Lockyer.
You take a left on James Street.
His iconic voice.
Was he wearing a shirt?
No, well, he was, but just an ordinary button-up.
That's right.
Yeah, usually jogs topless.
Yeah.
Darren, he's renowned for it.
Actually, I run into him all the time down at Paddington
Topless?
area. Topless.
Yeah.
He's out running.
Julianne, another footy
Hello.
player.
Did you meet?
Oh, hello. I actually used to hang out at Penrith League Club, the nightclubs when I was younger, and I had this guy was like dancing behind me, and I looked around and it was Brad Fittler, but I didn't know that Brad Fittler was a famous football player. And I just fobbed him off and went, yeah, no, thank you. And then
He was dancing up on you, was he?
Knocked back Freddie.
He was dancing behind me, yeah. And my girlfriends, they're like, do you know who that was? I went, yeah, no. And I tell my daughters that story now when we watch the Origin, and they looked at my dad and they went, they looked at their dad and they went, oh, do you mean we could have had a famous dad?
Doesn't work like that, kids.
Oh, dear.
Tim at North Lakes. Who did you meet?
Donatella Versace. I met her in Ibiza. I was basically coming home from the clubs, and it was about 6:30 in the morning, And it was the last sort of outdoor pub shack that I'd stop by on the way home and grab a couple of bottles of Coke and some breakfast for myself and the hotel manager to hang out with before I got crashing out. And she offered me a cigarette and took a cigarette. She started chatting to me and felt a few moves coming on, and I was just in a rush to get my warm bacon and egg burgers and Coke back to the hotel and walked away. And as I'm walking away, the barmaid said, mate, you know who that is? And I said, no. She said, it's Donatella Versace.
You blew it. You blew it. How was the bacon and egg roll? Better be worth it.
Yeah.
Look, it probably looked in better shape than her, to be honest.
I mean, good luck beating that one, Kelly.
Oh, Kel.
Oh my gosh, how can I beat that? Look, I'll try. I'll give it away at the end who it was. I was travelling on my own, arrived at LAX, I was in customs. I sort of recognised a radio announcer, a couple of people in front of me. By that, I was peeking out because I was going to miss my connecting flight. Anyway, this radio announcer was just lovely. He let me go in front of him, and then we finally got through customs, and he waited at the bag collection area with me because my bag wasn't coming through. And then he's like, oh, come on, we'll get you through. And he helped me to which way I needed to go to get my connecting flight, and we wished each other well. And it was Luttsy.
A side that most people don't get to see that we see every day. Oh,
yeah, but we were asking for famous encounters, Kelly.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
The Prince is on. The Prince is on. The Prince is on. Ooh, he's on the streets. The Prince is on.
Hello, Mitchell.
Where art thou?
Hello, guys. Hello. I'm in absolute comfort here. Buzz, I know you were just saying this is something you've been eyeing off doing yourself. I mean, the beautiful spot that is the Lena Rooftop Bar. I was here a couple of months ago. They were doing a big event at the end of summer for the Australian Open. They had a big weekend. It was a perfect sort of come out here, dive in the pool, which you guys maybe do. Thank you very much for that. And I didn't have any spare clothes or towels. I've moved on from it. And, the sun's shining. You're out here on the rooftop enjoying a couple of afternoon drinks. Now, there's something else. Even though the weather's changed, we're officially in winter now, and some of those lows I've had a look at, we're getting a little bit cool for Queensland, for Brisbane sort of temperature, and this is the still the ultimate way to come out and get a rooftop experience here at Lena Rooftop. They've got their fire and ice experience. Got my own little personalised igloo. How's the acoustics coming through in here, guys?
Good.
Because I'm
I'm
sitting in it at the moment. It's very like, clear, sort of like my own little clear dome. And I'm surrounded by these beautiful white curtains. I'm sitting in luxury, like beautiful soft seating. I'm sort of sitting on top of like pillows and blankets. And it's a sort of feel, I feel like I should be here in like a thick dressing gown, maybe even some slippers. Nikita, you're here representing Lena Rooftop. Like, do you have much of a dress code? Like, if I wore my slippers here to come here with some mates, would you guys kick me out, or is it sort of fitting the style?
Look, I can't say that we really love you wearing your slippers, but look, as long as you guys are comfortable, we really push, get your pajamas on, get that cheese fondue. Let's have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, specialised menu as well, just sort of having a look at, and they've also got some flaming cocktails, because obviously you're going to be here, it's going to be cold, and so to compensate that, we got the Citrus Inferno, the Sweet and Smoky, the Blue Crystal, among others down here. But custom-made private igloo. It can fit 6 to 8 people, or if you want something a little bit more intimate, there's ones for groups of 2 to 4, and come along here, and the specialised menu, bold, warm spices, crypt cool textures, as they're saying as well, and you want to jump in quick to Lena Rooftop on their website to get in, because these are being snatched up. Now that we're in weather, people are actually realising it can get a little bit cooler here in Brizzy. You want to jump on board and secure a little spot. It could be a perfect date for 2 or a nice little group activity as well. And they're sort of running it. You can get here during the day or come here at night, and regardless of what time you're here, especially right now. I mean, it is a beautiful beautiful spot of weather here in Brisbane today. It's absolutely clear, so it's a great spot here during the day, and at night time, I can't imagine any more perfect spot to come out here, enjoy the cool. Yes,
what were those flaming cocktails back in the day? Is that what you mean? Like they're on fire? Was it the flaming
something. Yeah, I don't know.
It was a licorice stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sambuca, flaming Sambuca. Is that what you mean by a flaming cocktail or something a bit strong?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for the
right.
ingredients and whatnot. I don't think we're actually not setting any liquor on fire here, are we,
you're not?
Nikita? It's just sort of a part of the ingredients. So, yes. Okay, so no slippers and
suppose
no
it is
lighting your
2024, isn't
cocktails
it?
on fire.
Okay.
Yeah, and that ugly
you can't-
Broncos
probably
hoodie you
No
have,
Sambuca
leave that
either.
behind as well, Mitch.
Sorry, I only heard you say Broncos hoodie. I don't hear how else you might have described it. It is wonderful, and it is a costume for all ages and all purposes there, Buzz. So you can wear it here. But beautiful spot down here. So jump on board to the Lena Rooftop Bar and organise this.
Such a good spot.
LenaRooftop.com.au and get amongst their fire and ice igloo packages, fire lounge, flaming cocktails, and if you want to give us a call, 132410 right now, a group package for you and 3 to come and check it out. It is officially in winter. It is getting cold, and this is probably the ultimate way to kick off your winter experience here in Brizzy.
There we go. Good on you, Mitch. 13, 24, 10. You, 3 of your friends, one of these amazing igloos at Lena Rooftop up for grabs. Sunsets at 5 o'clock, 5:01 in Brizzy today. Would be perfect for sunset, wouldn't it?
Nice.
In and out
That's
nice and
early,
early.
isn't it? Is that when the sun goes down now?
Oh, yeah, it's going to get earlier as well.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I went to the netball yesterday, so I was gone for quite a few hours. I had lunch. I visited my parents, actually. I had such a good day yesterday. My parents still live in the same house I've lived at since 1979.
Wow.
And it's at Robertson, but it's really changed. So then we went, the area's changed, so now it's really Asian, which is great for restaurants. So after we visited them, we went to an awesome Chinese, I suppose it was, restaurant. Such good value. I love that red. What is that red they put on their? What is the red they put on their pork and chicken?
MSG.
Sweet.
Anyway,
I don't know. Yeah,
yeah,
what is
yeah.
that?
It's delicious.
Did you go the crispy sweet and sour pork? Was it like,
No, I went
the battered-
barbecue pork and rice with cabbage, and it looks red.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tea, the hot tea in the plastic cups, and the hot water in the plastic cups, and you're in and out in like 2. Oh, it's very good service, delicious. Anyway, that's not part of my story. I was out all day. Is now. When I got home, Cliff was at home by himself, and he does a lot of deep dives about things that interest him. You know, he gets onto. He's really into YouTube. He goes into that. I don't do much YouTube stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on this exclusive YouTube at this
Really?
At this
Me
point.
too.
Yeah.
I haven't jumped over to that because my kids, that's the main thing they watch.
Yeah, same here.
They don't watch TV. But I got
He famously does it at night when you're trying to sleep.
Yeah, well, that's another story, isn't it? I mean, last night, if I could go into a story about that, but I won't. Anyway, not
Point
enough-
made.
Point made.
If you're
Thank
listening,
you.
Cliff.
Yeah. He'll be listening.
But I got home and he's really getting into DJs now.
Come on.
Really?
After my DJ set, like he had his boyfriends over on Friday night. He's so cute. And he was showing them all my He goes, look at Sue's DJing. And he got it, because you can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, with the full, you can see the full DJ set, the Boiler Room, on our YouTube
true.
channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So that's pretty funny. So then through that, I think he started to Google boiler rooms and DJs. And he got home. When I got home, he got me to watch all this stuff, and it was really good. It was Fred again.
This guy's a juggernaut.
He's the guy that
Really
came
is.
back. Was it this year or last year? And he had the concert at the Spit. Remember at the end of the Spit, and
yeah,
it was
that was
crazy.
huge.
There was more people at that than there was at some festival. A bit later. Like, was there 30,000 out there on the Spit?
Yeah, I think it was over 30,000. I think.
And he
Yeah.
announces it just before and all that sort of business, right?
Yeah.
Pop-up shows.
Yeah.
He does.
Pop up, and we're watching the Boiler Room. Oh my God, it's really good music. It's
Fred again's unreal.
It's relaxing, sort of like everyone was it was like a trance. Everyone was just sort of dancing in the same thing. On such a high.
This is Fred again.
The funny thing was, though, when he was doing his Boiler Room, when I did the Boiler Room, I had a big sort of fence around me, and I had a lot of space just to myself. He is literally at the decks, and everyone is dancing.
Yeah, you see that?
Have you seen that
I
around
have seen
him?
that. That would annoy the hell out
I
of me.
don't know how he does it. There was one guy who came up and was dancing next to him, like this.
Yeah.
He didn't look cool, but it looked fun. He looked,
You had a mini boxing ring essentially around you.
yeah, I had a mini boxing ring.
Yeah.
Whereas he had this one guy who was he was kind of daggy dancing, and then this guy hit with his elbow the off button on the DJ set.
Yeah, right.
Really?
And turned off all the music like that.
Then you have to turn it back on.
Yeah.
Wait, it looks like that could happen, or someone could spill a drink. Like you see,
Yeah.
I do see that on.
I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
But Fred again, then we went down watching YouTube things on him. Follow him. It made London look beautiful. he talked about how during COVID they used to do these pop-up DJ events on the Thames, whatever, in London, and just all get together and stuff. And he would, I think DJing really took off around COVID. Do you reckon? Or are we just noticing it now? I feel like boiler rooms and DJ sets.
I think those online things like YouTube clips.
Even Jolly on Peps, that's when he took off, right?
Yeah, there's some local guys. There's a guy that does it in Brisbane. I'll try and get his name, but he must sit himself up in a balcony or a rooftop somewhere in Brisbane with the sunset and Mount Cootha.
Yeah.
And he has some really cool lighting. And it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think that probably took off a bit more in COVID because people were obviously restricted to their
hanging out
apartments or whatever.
At home and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But check him out, Fred Again on YouTube.
He's not just a DJ, he's produced some of the biggest songs in the world.
He?
Yeah, he's worked like pretty exclusively with Ed Sheeran. I'll play one of the songs that you'd know that he's worked on. So Ed works with Fred Again for like the beats and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, so he's...
Yeah, if you watch the Ed Sheeran documentary on Apple, Fred Again's pretty a part of it.
That reminds me, that's the other thing he was doing when he was DJing. He wasn't just standing there and dancing like some DJs might do, such as myself.
Not pressing buttons.
Such as myself. He was playing the drums on his... doing loops. You know how Ed Sheeran does loops?
Yep.
Do you reckon he taught Ed Sheeran the loop thing?
I don't know. Ed's been doing that since he started. But they work really well together, like massive songs. He's worked on Trust Fall with Pink, Eyes Closed, done tracks with Labyrinth.
He's English, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I'm smarter than I'm smarter than Suze.
Steve's out at Radcliffe. See, the Dolphins went down in the most dramatic of circumstances on the weekend. Golden Point against the Raiders. Spewing.
That wasn't a good outcome.
Spewing. You're in the truck?
Yeah.
Hit it.
I knew it.
I've heard worse.
That's a fair horn you got on you, Steve.
Isolated. We've heard a lot worse than that.
Yeah. That's one of the best.
Yeah.
All right, mate, you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. If you were born today, what would your star sign be?
I don't know, Gemini.
Julie Andrews plays Lady Whistledown in which Netflix series?
Don't know.
Which company produced the Discman portable CD player?
Sony.
What type of animal is a puffin?
Puffin? Dragon.
Which is bigger, a quintillion or a sextillion?
The first one, quintillion.
Stop the clock.
That's a G up, Steve.
What are you doing,
It
Lockie?
was. Is that what he said? A puffer?
Puffin.
Puffin.
Puffin. Sounds like something you eat.
Puffin. That's a muffin, is what you eat.
Yeah, I know. Puffin and muffin.
What did you say? You said
dragon.
You said
Puff the Magic Dragon, I think, is what Steve
Yeah.
was thinking.
yeah. That's. I was
Yeah, you got me. I had nothing.
All right.
You had Puffin.
All right. You haven't been pantsed.
I mean, it's a
I
tough
can tell you that.
All right.
She'll get Puffin, I reckon.
I knew you weren't going to get Lady Whistledown.
What is that? Julie
No.
Andrews?
Julie Andrews played Lady Whistledown.
In what Netflix show?
I don't know.
How old's Julie Andrews now?
Suze will get that for sure, I bet. YMCA, let's bring in the gift.
It's time to bring in the G-I-M-P. It's time to bring in the G-I-M-P. It's time to bring in the gin. Time to bring in the gin. It's time to bring in the gin. G-I-M-P. It's time to bring in the G-I-M-P. It's time to bring in the gin. Time to bring in the gin. It's time to bring in the gin.
Susie O'Neill! Hold the phone, Freddie! Susie O'Neill! It will be a miracle! You won't see anything like that again this year!
You ready, Suze?
Ready.
30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. If you were born today, what would your star sign be?
Pisces.
Julie Andrews plays Lady Whistledown in which Netflix series?
Sound of Music.
Which company produced the Discman portable CD player?
Sony.
What type of animal is a puffin?
It's a penguin.
Which is bigger, a quintillion or a sextillion?
Quintillion.
Stop the clock. Hold it. Double Tuco.
Tight.
Tricky.
Tight. Yeah.
We're going to start from the bottom and work up. Mm-hmm. Which is bigger, a quintillion or a sextillion? You both said a quintillion. That's wrong. It's a sextillion. Quintillion has 18 zeros, and a sextillion has 21 zeros. That makes it bigger, doesn't it? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. What type of animal is a puffin? Steve said it's a dragon.
That's funny.
Sue said it's a penguin.
Puff the magic dragon.
And that is correct.
Penguin.
It's a bird. A bird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Puffin is a bird.
Oh, so it's not a what? So is it a penguin?
But is a penguin a bird?
Well,
Is a puffin a...
Well, if she said ibis, would you have taken that?
No, I'm thinking.
Well, an ibis is a bird.
Yeah, but a puffin's
Is a
not
penguin
a
a
penguin.
bird?
Are we accepting that or not? I don't mind.
Can I say it looks like a penguin, but
Can I have a look?
I don't actually think it is.
Is
I
it
thought
a
it was
penguin?
penguin, but I mean,
That's what
bird.
it looks like, but I don't actually think it's a species of penguin.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's a
Yeah.
puffin, is it?
Yeah.
Can I have a look at a puffin? Oh.
Yeah.
Puffin is not a
It
penguin.
does look
I-
like a miniature penguin.
I need a ruling.
That's not a penguin.
No, we're not taking it.
That is not a penguin.
Puffin is not a penguin. A penguin
I'm not
is a
taking it.
flightless bird. The
I'm-
puffin can fly.
I'm Team Steve.
Okay,
Hello.
Suze, I had it marked down,
I'm
but
Team Steve too.
I'm not giving it to you. Evidently, it's 0-all. Things got very, very tight around
Tight?
here.
Tight.
Which company produced the Discman portable CD player? You both said Sony. That is correct. Remember the old Sony bus? You wouldn't know, mate.
Oh, no, I had one. I
go-
did have one.
You'd go for a run with your Sony CD thing. and
Well,
you-
before that, you had the Sony Walkman.
yeah.
I had a Discman. I used to
Did
take
you?
them in my blazer
Oh,
pocket.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
when I was in
all
year
right.
12.
Really?
There you go.
I thought you always
Respect.
had to hold them horizontally to get them to work.
No,
Yeah.
this one didn't.
Sony with that
Did you?
non-jump technology. I
non-jump
think.
technology.
Then would you put it in your school blazer?
Yeah. But it was old by then. I couldn't afford an iPod. So I
Oh,
went
with iPods were out there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Now it's like 7 songs.
It's 1-all. Julie Andrews plays Lady Whistledown in which Netflix series? Suze said Sound of Music. That's wrong.
It's a joke, you know.
Steve said I don't
What
know.
else is there? You know?
Anybody heard of Bridgerton?
Oh, I never watched it.
I haven't
Was
heard
she
of
in that?
Yeah. It's a massive show.
Yeah,
Bridget's
Yeah,
big.
That's Julie Andrews, the Sound of Music, Julie Andrews.
Yeah,
I guess
must
so.
be getting on a bit now, eh?
Yeah.
She must be.
It's
a bit long in the tooth.
It's still 1-all. And it comes down to this. If you were born today, what would your star sign be?
Yeah, what?
Suze said Pisces. That's wrong. Steve said Gemini. And that is correct.
Stop
Steve,
Are you serious?
you are smarter than Suze, my friend. Hit the horn. Hit the horn, mate.
Hit the
I'm
bell.
arsier than Suze.
You got a better ass than me, did you say?
Well, he might.
No,
he might,
definitely
he might,
not.
Yeah, might do.
Oh, good. Can
Geez,
we,
I had you at 1,000,000 to 1 then, Steve.
can we go in the cave as well? Because he just got
Yeah, of
the
course.
Yeah, go
lowest,
in.
it's just $100. Nothing to be sneezed at, but still.
Side note, Bridgerton's the most watched show on Netflix at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah,
God,
just-
you're good with your stats like
yeah, it's written here in the cave.
Yeah, all right.
Etched on a wall. It's weird. Lockie puts weird things in. Anyway, a 12-month binge subscription we're going to throw in as well. It's Binge's birthday, Steve. So we're going
wow.
to celebrate at the moment. You can get 1 month of Binge standard for just $5. Head to binge.com.au/birthday to grab your gift now. For new and returning customers only. So get involved in that, mate. So a free 12-month subscription.
I think that offer ends on June 7 as well, by the way.
June
in case you
7th,
want it.
sorry,
Yeah.
thank you, missed that bit. And,
Thank you.
And I'll also give you a $100 Retros voucher as well. Retros on the Brunswick
score.
Street. But more, mate, you have a great night there when you come in from the peninsula.
All right, thank you very much.
And $100. Good on you, Steve.
200.
$200. $200. Sorry, mate. $200.
200, awesome.
Well done.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie O'Neill podcast is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.
The Gold Coast Marathon, presented by ASICS, is more than a marathon, so lace up those runners and get ready to ready, set, go. This year, the kids are giving the grown-ups a run for their money in the 2 kilometre and 4 kilometre junior dash. Is it time to tackle your first event? You can dip your toe in the Gold Coast Airport 5 kilometre. There's a 1 hour, 20-minute cut-off time, so you can take your time. Share your love of running with the family at the Gold Coast Marathon, presented by ASICS, and enter now at goldcoastmarathon.com.au.